Would you like some Apache pizza? Woohoo! In 20th centuries. Actually, it could be
19th maybe.
What are you called? Look around. It's a fun little snake. It's got a friend right over there.
Here it goes.
That's all over the place.
How do you get into this place?
Oh,
Celtics.
From the far side.
Yeah?
That's all I know.
Okay. Not this way.
Well, you have to walk on down and turn the corner at the end there.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
snakes.
I thought it was going to be that medieval thing.
Recreated nose.
Yeah, so that was
Nose.
you can always leave
Everything was frosted.
Well, I hope you have, despite the lateness, enjoyed your crossing with us today.
Encouraged Englishmen to come and live in the towns that he'd founded, so he had a stronghold. But you will see it, she said, mentioned, used in all the roofs of nearly all the houses and cottages in the north of Wales. They've never really found another use for it. They use it underneath billiard tables, and they use it in slate blackboards, but the main use is still for roof tiles. A lot of famous people have come from that area as well, like Richard Burton and Tom Jones, all these people from the valleys. And that's supposed to be the area where all the famous singing takes place. I should also mention to you the tradition of male voice choirs, which is also linked in with the Methodists, because originally they used to sing in the Methodist churches. A river. Straight ahead of us, just to the right, you can see the little promenade, which is very nice to walk along. As we cross the bridge, you'll see the other bridges I have mentioned off to your left. One of them's actually for the train to go through. Stevenson's Bridge for the train that goes through it like a tunnel.
This is bridge. This is the Edward first built that bridge.
So Conway is only very tiny. You've got the harbour front that you've already seen, and the main street is just down there to your right. So you can have half an hour to have a little wander around. There's a bank just there, NatWest, if you need money. So Mike won't be able to remain parked here, but he's going to come back to pick us up here after the castle visit.
Slipperstein there. Look. No.
Cost us £7 to go in. Is it worth it? Oh, I haven't seen a wall. Bird.
Come here, bird.
Gather up. Bunch up.
And the land was called a burgate, and that was a piece of land across, a free gift, entirely castle what he did. There must be someone to get it ready. There must be place called the Honorary. Having big windows, low down, it would let the attackers get in the castle. So instead of a big window, I showed you outside a little one, which looks a lot bigger now.
They've only dug them up from underneath the road. Where you see the building on the left here, the Magistrates' Court, that's where the church used to stand, St. Bridget's. That big building on the right-hand side is the police station. Tower of St. Mary's within the walls church, coming up on your left. Chester Castle's next. In the background is the sandstone tower, Agricola's tower, from the original castle. The modern castle in front of it took 34 years to build, from 1788 to 1822. And coming up on the right hand side in a moment is Chester Racecourse, the River Dee. Race is there since 1541. It is on your right. They are heading down for a bridge over the River Dee. The bridge is called the Grosvenor Bridge. It was opened by Princess Victoria in 1832. And at the time it was the largest single-span bridge in the world. It's got the 200-foot single span. You'll see it now coming up next. You get to the light to turn it up and head down to the other bridge. Coming up on your left now, the church coming up next was built. They promised the vicar they would give them the first salmon caught in the river every year. The church was built in 1889 and the vicars are still waiting for the salmon. Here it is. This is St. Mary's without the walls. The other one a few minutes ago by the castle was St. Mary's within the walls. Around Chester there are 26 St. Mary's Church, so you must name which one you're talking about. Now we're heading down for another bridge. This is the Old Dee Bridge. It's 14th century in style on the left, it's modern on the right. Before you get there, there's an open space on the left where you'll see a block of sandstone. There's a notice next to the sandstone to tell you what's inside the hole in the sandstone. There's the statue of the goddess Minerva put there by the Romans because this was the quarry where they got the stones from. You'll see it on your left in a few moments. Where you see the white notice board in the background in the middle there, that's where the Minerva
Way
is.
behind the swing set.
And as you pass over the bridge, if you look to your right, you'll see the Weir of Chester, put there by the Normans for the mills. Fresh water above it, salt water below it. It's tidal as far as here. Sometimes you can come across this bridge and you won't see any weir at all, because the tide is so high. The sea is 6 miles to the left. There's the Weir. Now you're going through the bridge gate and you're entering Scandinavian Chester. The Norsemen came over from Dublin and settled there. I'll give you the proof of that in a few moments. As we go through the gate, look to your left, you'll see an old building. That's the Baron Village, 1664. The people who collected the tolls at the gate were the sergeants at the gate, and they lived in that building on your left. Now, passing this monstrosity on the right-hand side, you'll see a little church. That's dedicated to the patron saint of Norway, St. Olaf. It was put there by the Norsemen when they came here. You come up to the right, you're turning right. There it is there on the right-hand side. And when we get up to the lights, we're turning right. The church in front of you, that would have been a gate into the Roman fortress. This is the biggest Roman fortress in the country. It's 60 acres in size, or 24 hectares. And underneath the shop still is the Roman fortress. And I'm hoping to take you underneath some parts of it to show you what's underneath it. What happens in Chester is this. If you knock a wall down and find something, we either take it out and put it in the museum, or we take people in to see it. In this particular place I'm hoping to take you if it's open. It's a restaurant, and down in the cellars they knocked the wall down and they found a Roman bathhouse. Local people don't go round their own place. I've heard a conversation at the last table there when I've been bringing people down into the cellar, and one person said to the other, where are all those people going down into the cellar for? And the other person said, there's a big toilet down there. There isn't, is there? There's a Roman bathhouse. 58 because they couldn't get buses under the other one. And coming up on your right hand side is Chester's Roman Amphitheatre. It's the biggest Roman amphitheatre in the country. It's not fully excavated, but experts have estimated it would seat 5,000 spectators. That's how big it is. Coming up on your left hand side is Chester Visitor Centre. You can get souvenirs of Chester there. There's toilets on the first floor. Church coming up on your right is St. John's. There's been a church there since 689. It was a Catholic cathedral from 1075 to 1102. When Queen Elizabeth I gave it back, she chopped the front off and the two transepts. There's the original chancel looking ruins on the right hand side. The transepts have gone. Any of the little roads on that side go down to the river. And coming up next on the right is Grosvenor Park. Beautiful flower gardens in there. On a nice day, it's absolutely full of people. They get fed up with the shops. Now you're going up a street called Love Street. In the old trade directories for the city, this is where they used to make clay tobacco pipes. Keep your left all the way round now. I'm heading back to you.
And Berlin.
Now where you see buildings like what you've got coming up on the left and on your right in a moment, red brick buildings with patented blue bricks in, they indicate that they belong to the Grosvenor family. That's one of the ways you can tell what they own. There's a lot of them that they haven't marked out, but that's the usual way they do mark them out. To your left. Now this big long building coming up on your left is Parker's Buildings. At one time when you worked for the Duke and you retired, he gave you a flat here. But he's recently sold it over to the council, so we don't know what the position is now. And goes into the River Dee here, into the Irish Sea. Turning left at the lights. The area dropping down into now is called Gorstacks. In the days of the curfew, after the bells stopped ringing, any material used for lighting fires was brought out and stacked up here. That's it, immediate left. And you're going up that street over there. Oh, you mean here? Oh, in Delamere Street, right, that's fine. That's a good place, actually. Yeah, that's right. That's a good idea. Now, when you pass these buildings on your left-hand side, if you look over to your left, you'll see the walls of Chester. There's a tower at the corner. That's called King Charles I Tower. He witnessed a big battle outside the city here in 1644, which he lost, so he packed his bags and hopped it, and left the city in a state of siege from September 1644 to February 1645. You'll see at the moment coming up on your left. On your right hand side is Delamere Coach Station. This is where you'll pick your coach up later. You'll be able to stand in the dry and not get wet. Now, there's the walls of Chester on your left, but when we turn the corner in a few moments and go over the bridge, look at the walls again. 4 foot down from the top, there's a plinth sticking out, or a ledge. From there to the bottom is actual Roman walls. 13 courses of stone, 22 foot high, 6.07 meters. It's the finest section of Roman walls we've got embedded in the walls today.
So that's clear to everybody, yeah? 2 o'clock if you want to go to Erdig House, and 4:30 to go back to the hotel.
If I start shouting there, I get chucked quieter. If at any time you can't hear what I...
Pat, why did they have to do it? Why?
Go this way, to the right. And whatever design is on the move, when you push it into the lime wash, it brings those impressions out. See, 1600, it's called leach house. In other words, the people who first lived there were leechers. They still use leeches today in medicine. We have a farm in South Wales here where they breed leeches and sell them to hospitals. American hospitals buy all the leech boxes in the place. We use leeches for all sorts of things. Now that house, the target in there, it should move. They put tables and chairs down here to try and encourage local people to come down and have a look at what's here. I have never yet seen this naturally to sit in. There's your hypercross in front of you there. And just there. Down by half.
Bird up there at that window. How beautiful. That's not a lift. Look at that place right there.
Coming.
sign, huh?